Welcome to the channel, everybody. Today we're taking a trip around the world, but not to those fancy places with Michelin star restaurants and infinity pools. Oh no, we're diving headfirst into the top 10 most dangerous countries in the world for 2024. That's right, we're talking crime rates that'll make your hair stand on end. From homicide and violent crime to theft so common it should have its own holiday. We're talking about the kind of places where you look over your shoulder so much you'll get whiplash. So buckle up because things are about to get real. First up, we're heading down to South America, a continent usually known for its beautiful beaches and even more beautiful people. But unfortunately, our first stop is Venezuela, a country currently holding the not-so-coveted title of highest homicide rate in the world. Now I know what you're thinking, Trevor, what happened? Well, my friends, it's a cocktail of political instability, gang violence so intense it would make the Sharks and the Jets look like a church choir, and an economic collapse so bad the only thing inflating faster than their currency is a sense of despair. It's enough to make you want to cry in your arapas. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom. Okay, maybe it is. We're talking about a country where even the zoo animals are struggling to survive, and not because of the climate. The situation is so dire that basic necessities like food and medicine are harder to find than a sober politician during carnival. So yeah, maybe skip that Venezuelan vacation this year, unless you're really into extreme backpacking. Next, we're jumping over to the land of Nelson Mandela and, well, that's where the good news ends. South Africa, my friends, is a country of breathtaking beauty and heartbreaking violence. We're talking about crime rates so high, even the giraffes look nervous. From Cape Town to Johannesburg, the country is grappling with an epidemic of violent crime. Carjacking is basically a national sport, and home invasions are so common they should hand out crowbars with every welcome mat. Now I know what you're thinking, Trevor, is it apartheid's fault? And the answer, my friends, is complicated. While the legacy of apartheid definitely plays a role in the country's inequality and crime, it's not the whole story. We're talking about a complex mix of poverty, unemployment, gang warfare, and a police force that's often overwhelmed and under-resourced. It's enough to make you want to lock yourself in a safari cage and hope for the best. From the southern tip of Africa, we're flying north to Honduras, a country that's sadly become synonymous with violence and instability. We're talking about a nation where gangs rule the streets like they own the place, which they kind of do. Drug trafficking, extortion, murder, you name it, Honduras has got it and then some. It's enough to make you want to sleep with one eye open and a machete under your pillow. Now, I know what you're thinking, Trevor. Is it all because of those pesky gangs? And the answer is, unsurprisingly, complicated. While gangs definitely play a major role in Honduras's crime problem, they're a symptom of a much deeper issue: poverty. With limited opportunities and rampant corruption, many young people see joining a gang as their only option. It's a vicious cycle of violence and despair, and it's enough to make you want to hug your mama and never let go. Next, we're jetting over to Jamaica, the land of reggae, sunshine, and, oh yeah, one of the highest homicide rates in the Caribbean. Now don't get me wrong, Jamaica is a beautiful island with a vibrant culture and friendly people. But it's also a country grappling with serious, gang-related violence, particularly in the capital city, Kingston. We're talking about a place where even Bob Marley would be singing "No Woman, No Crime" if you catch my drift. So what's the deal with Jamaica? Well, it's a complex issue, but a lot of it boils down to poverty, inequality, and the drug trade. With limited economic opportunities, many young people turn to gangs for income and a sense of belonging. And with Jamaica being a major transit point for cocaine trafficking from South America to the United States, the gangs have plenty of guns and money to fuel their turf wars. Hold on to your sombreros, folks, because we're heading south of the border to Mexico, a country where the food is delicious, the culture is vibrant, and the cartels are, well, terrifying. We're talking about a nation where drug trafficking, kidnappings, and extortion are so common they should be listed on the menu next to the chiles en nogada. Now I know what you're thinking, Trevor. Are you saying I shouldn't go to Cancun? And the answer, my friends, is nuanced. While tourist areas are generally considered safe, venture outside those carefully curated bubbles, and you might find yourself in a scene straight out of Narcos. We're talking about a country where the government is locked in a seemingly endless war with powerful drug cartels, and innocent civilians often get caught in the crossfire. Next stop, El Salvador. Now, this small Central American nation was once known as the murder capital of the world, And while things have gotten slightly better, and by slightly I mean statistically less likely to be murdered on your way to buy pupusas, it's still got a long way to go. We're talking about a country where gangs like MS-13 and Barrio 18 rule with an iron fist, controlling everything from drug trafficking to extortion. Now you might be thinking, Trevor, didn't El Salvador's president, Nayib Bukele, declare war on the gangs? He even built a giant prison. And you'd be right, he did. But while Bukele's iron-fisted tactics have led to a decrease in homicides, they've also raised serious concerns about human rights abuses and the erosion of democracy. It's a complicated situation, and only time will tell if Bukele's gamble will pay off or backfire spectacularly. Get ready to shake your bonbons, folks, because we're heading to Brazil, the land of carnival, beautiful beaches, and, oh yeah, a whole lot of crime. From the favelas of Rio de Janeiro to the bustling streets of Sao Paulo, Brazil is a country of stark contrasts, where extreme wealth and poverty exist side by side, and the gap between them is often bridged by violence. We're talking about a nation where robberies, assaults, and even police brutality are sadly commonplace. Now I know what you're thinking, Trevor, but what about the Amazon rainforest? Can't I just hang out with the monkeys and pretend everything's fine? And the answer, my friends, is a resounding maybe. While the Amazon is undoubtedly beautiful and teeming with biodiversity, it's also home to its fair share of dangers, both natural and man-made. Hola, amigos! We're off to Colombia, a country that's been through more ups and downs than Shakira's hips during a Super Bowl halftime show. From its notorious past as the epicenter of the global cocaine trade, to its recent strides towards peace and stability, Colombia is a nation grappling with a complex legacy. But let's be real, while things are definitely looking up, Colombia still has its fair share of dangers, particularly in cities like Cali and Medellin, where drug cartels and armed groups continue to operate. Now I know what you're thinking, Trevor. Are you saying I'll get kidnapped by Pablo Escobar's ghost if I visit Colombia? And the answer, my friends, is highly unlikely. Escobar's been dead for decades, but the drug trade he helped build is still alive and kicking, even if it's not as openly violent as it once was. Pack your mosquito nets and your sense of adventure, folks, because we're heading to Papua New Guinea, a country where stunning natural beauty and ancient tribal traditions collide with alarming levels of violence and lawlessness. We're talking about a nation where tribal warfare, armed robberies, and sexual assaults are tragically common, particularly outside of major cities. Now I know what you're thinking, Trevor, but what about those amazing birds of paradise? Can't I just chill with them and pretend everything's peachy? And the answer, my friends, is a resounding not really. While Papua New Guinea is undoubtedly home to some of the most incredible wildlife on the planet, it's also a place where venturing off the beaten path can be extremely risky. Hold on tight, folks, because we're ending our journey in Afghanistan, a country that's been ravaged by war and instability for decades. Since the Taliban's takeover in 2021, the situation has gone from dire to downright dystopian, with human rights abuses, terrorism, and a humanitarian crisis of epic proportions. We're talking about a nation where women are treated like second-class citizens, education is under attack, and the future looks bleaker than a Kabul winter. Now I know what you're thinking, Trevor, why are we even talking about Afghanistan? It's not exactly a tourist destination, and you'd be right, it's not. But just because a country isn't on our travel bucket list, doesn't mean we should turn a blind eye to the suffering of its people. And there you have it, folks, the top 10 most dangerous countries in the world for 2024. Now I know what you're thinking, Trevor, that was depressing, and you're not wrong. But hey, at least now you're informed, right? Remember, knowledge is power. And in this case, it might just save your life. So the next time you're planning a trip abroad, do your research, be aware of your surroundings, and maybe pack a whistle or a personal bodyguard. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on our social handles for more updates. Stay safe and travel smart.